Up, Wedding Nerdigans, this is the one and only Packer Girl 89, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Detective Conan chapter 996. And I'm sorry this video is late. I was at E3 the past couple of days, so I'm making it up to you guys right now by doing all the shit that I wasn't able to do the past couple of days now. So thank you guys for being super patient. Anyway, we're about to solve who killed the guy in the cafe, and some of you nerdigans are saying the waitress did it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we got here. Let's get to this chapter. Here we go. Ooh, this cover is beautiful. Ooh. I love that Serena's glaring at him. And this chapter is called The Truth of the Trip. And 4 files left to go for 1,000. Oh, we're almost there. A group of high school girls are making fun of little Conan. Yes, they are. Outside? So you're saying you think the criminal came from outside, Inspector? We can't ignore that possibility. But those three, they all have motives to kill Sari-san. They did. Yeah. They followed Rand, and a murder has occurred in the cafe she visited. The truth is, the former chef of the cafe, Motsuo Toshinori-san, had his blog criticized by the victim, which I keep thinking, I think it's him. I think he's lying about his wrist. The waitress, Namora Isuzu-san, was being harassed by the victim in his attempts to court her. The manager of this cafe, Numa Tamo-san, is getting married next month, and with the victim being her ex-boyfriend, there is a chance he was blackmailing her for her with revenge porn. When the murder weapon that weighs close to 30 kilos is filled with water, it would be impossible for any of the 3 suspects to lift. And looking at the stage of the damaged lock on the victim's locker, we found no weapon that could break it like that. But, Inspector, only those 3 could have brought the murder weapon, the vase, in here. It looks like that window was found open when Sarari-san's body was discovered. Sarari-san probably opened it himself so he could smoke. The manager told us that she could have forgotten to check whether it was locked. Maybe the window was left open. The criminal broke into the cafe at night and moved the vase here. Then they waited outside till Sarari-san came here to smoke, and then went in through the kitchen door. And when the chance came, they killed him with the vase. The criminal must possess superhuman strength, for they lifted the vase that weighed 40 kilos, and they broke the padlock as well. That's a fake. I really doubt if the criminal possessed anything even close to superhuman strength. Right, Conan-kun? Conan-kun? Ah, shit. He's too busy thinking about Rand. I brought it like you said, Mori-san. Padlock and 2 wrenches, huh? I asked you to get that, but Sarah-san said, well then, shall we begin? Oh, so Sarah's gonna break it down. Woo! The demonstration where we break a padlock and kill a man with a heavy vase with little strength. I'm telling you, it is the former chef. It has to be. First, the padlock. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the toolbox was inside the shelf, right? The shelf, right? And inside were these 2 identical wrenches, isn't that right? Yes, you're right. If we put those 2 wrenches into the closed padlock shackle, which is shaped like the letter U, and press down on it like this, crack. It didn't. See? It's broken, just like how we found it. God, this is really making me think of MacGyver. These chapters of Detective Conan always make me think of MacGyver. Really? Amazing. If that were the case, the locker where the padlock was found had no traces of a wrench being used on it. That's because after killing Sarari-san, the culprit took the key from him, unlocked the padlock, broke it using the trick I just described, and then left it hanging back on the locker. After this, they rifled through it to make it look like someone was after the contents of Sarari-san's locker. So from this locker, yeah, nothing was taken. But even with those fancy tools, it's impossible to wield this vase, right? Yeah, but you don't have to wield it. Clang. Oh, my bad. Could you get the wrench from under the shelf, please? Geez. It rolled too far inside. I can't quite reach it. Huh? And much like this, the vase was dropped on the victim's head from above. I see. So they used it from above. They didn't lift it. They just knocked it down. They asked the victim to retrieve something from under the shelf, and without having to wield the vase, they just lifted it and killed him. And they positioned the body of the victim in a sitting posture like this. they put the flowers which were in the locker into the vase, filled it with water, aimed it at that bloodstain there, dropped the vase and let the water flow. And as the bloodstain disappeared, it created an illusion that the vase was filled with water in the first place. So it's just like you said, Oji-san, right? Bandaging the wrist afterwards to make it look like it had been dislocated before, like that. So who is the criminal? This trick could have been used by any of them. Keyword, the wrist. I'm telling you, it's a former chef. I know, right? Oi, you told us this much and you don't know who the culprit is? Socks. Waitress Oni-san, you were wearing socks earlier, so why'd you take them off? When you were picking... Oh, no. Oh, if it's her, then my nerdigans in the comment section were right. When you were... And I'm wrong. Fuck. When you were picking up the shards of the glass I had dropped, you had socks on, didn't you? I'll bring you a replacement iced coffee. So where did they go now? You see, I tend to sweat a lot, and since they got wet from the sweat, I felt uncomfortable and took them off. Really? Yes. Are you sure it wasn't because they were stained with blood when you dropped the vase? What? I see. Since your shoes and pants are black, you can't see blood on them, but you need to remove your socks. Lay. There's some, there's something under the shelf. Oh yeah, it looks like a pearl earpiece. It looks like it's stuck to the floor. I see. She asked a Sarari-san to vacuum the floor to retrieve the earpiece. There's a vacuum cleaner next to the toolbox in the shelf, and it has a thin nozzle for the hose. But since it was stuck to the floor with glue, he couldn't get it out, and she dropped the vase on him as he was struggling to reach it. But what about the large amount of water? What? Damn, brat, what are you doing? Doesn't this locker belong to Nomura-sama? I see. She separated the water into different bottles and hid it inside the locker. Yeah, and she put the flowers inside those bottles so they didn't wither. But why Isuzu-chan kills Sarari-san? That man criticized my family's cafe so severely in his blog that my parents committed suicide because of their debts. And also, and our cafe is also no more. Oh man, it was revenge! Revenge! As I said, you were driven by revenge. No, at first I did not even think of killing him. Back then, my father's health had declined rapidly, and my mother took over as the chef of the cafe. And since she wasn't as experienced as him, the taste of the food did go down a bit. When I learned that the owner of the blog worked here as a waiter, I decided to come work here so I could meet him and give him a piece of my mind. I wanted to say, I'm the eye candy of the cafe you destroyed. Laugh at me all you want. But you know what he said? Say, aren't you a cutie? Are you from Tokyo? Want to date me? He didn't know that you were the girl from the cafe? Yes, he said in his blog that the taste had worsened and that he was disappointed since he'd been a regular visitor for many years now. Do you know what that means? He never visited our cafe at all. He just went along with some gossip and ruined our cafe. I couldn't forgive him, and I dropped the vase on the head of the full-stomach professor, full of my murderous intent. Oh, man. We got... Nerdigans in the comment section were right. I was wrong this time. This case left a bad taste in my mouth. You mustn't let those sort of blogs swallow you whole. But you were great, Conan-kun. Noticing her socks like that. Just got lucky. But you understood everything the moment we arrived at the crime scene, no? I noticed that the waitress Oni-san had taken off her socks and the victim's elbow was smudged with dirt. So I decided to look under the shelf to see if anything had rolled underneath. And I noticed an earpiece stuck to the floor. Huh? What do you mean? You can't tell if something's just stuck or not just by looking at it. You can. When the pearl when a pearl earpiece falls down, the weight of the needle pulls it downward. But in this case, the needle was pointing up, not down. Awesome. Conan-kun, you're you're a genius. Nope, not at all. Because I still don't understand anything about Rand Nichan's trip. She's laughing. Conan-kun is so cute. So he's just a brat after all. A brat, I tell you. Actually, this trip is a high school tradition. The field trip. Is that so? Yeah, we got flyers and everything. I completely forgot about that. We didn't think Shinichi-kun would miss out on an event like this. Maybe he'll show fun. The reason behind Rand's cheerful behavior equals big event equals school field trip. Next issue, what will Conan do? Oh no! Detective Conan's gonna be on a 3-week hiatus, for a 3-week break. No! No, the author break. It's all because for the author to gather info. I want to go. Look at Conan. He's just like, I want to go. But anyway, let me know your thoughts about the chapter in the comment section below. You guys in the comment section were right this time. I was wrong. That the waitress did it. The motivation behind the waitress, you know, her the motivation. I totally understand her motive. Her motive was legit because he fucking ruined the blog. His blog ruined it. That's why I thought it was the previous chef, because something similar happened. But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. if you love what I'm doing and want to contribute to the Nerdigans Inc. expansion. There's a few ways you could do that. You could donate to the Nerdigans Inc. PayPal, Patreon, or purchase something off the Nerdigans Inc. Amazon wishlist. All those links are in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow me on the Twits, aka Twitter. Follow my Twitch channel, friend me on PlayStation Network. That's in the description box below as well. Until next time, Nerdigans, I'll be seeing you later. Bye!